Right then, made the very hard, warm slog with the barrow of kit down to our peg for this session. We are in peg number 3. As you can tell, we've got a nice hut if we want to escape the beautiful sunshine. But yeah, there are fish present in our area, which is always promising on first arrival. So I'm itching to get the rods out. But first things first, we need to really see what's going on out there. It's a brand new lake to me, never seen it before, never stepped foot on it before, so I really need to just understand what depths we got to play with, sort of out in open water, and sort of kiting round to our right hand side down this nice reed line margin. So there may be a few opportunities if we can pinpoint and locate certain spots to put some baits. So yeah, I think without further ado, let's get the Chirp Plus 2 out and see what we can find. Right then, so as I said, getting the Chirp Plus 2 out into the lake. I've done a little bit of research before I've actually arrived at the venue. I've been onto my Fish Deeper premium subscription, located the lake itself, and just from the information that it's revealed on the lake mapping, it really does just look uniformed now. Casting my Chirp 2 around half a dozen times, just fanning from left to right, that has pretty much confirmed what that lake map is sort of telling me. It's really uniformed. There is sort of no ups and downs, no contours to the lake bed. It is pretty much a flat 5 foot, maybe 4 foot around the edges, so there really isn't much to go on in regards to any little humps or bumps or slight features that might make the lake bed a little more interesting than you know, what else is around it. So what I'm doing now is just switching it up to a narrow beam. That way it's going to give me a real sort of pinpoint accuracy on a really narrow cone, and what I'm going to do is essentially just look for the most cleanest part of the lake bed. There is a very small run of sort of silt, soft stuff, nothing that I'm really worried about, but what I want to do is if I can locate an area that is glowing on the lake bed that indicates it's rock hard, and you know, the silt and the debris from the lake bed has been cleared for whatever reason, then if I can pinpoint one of them, you know, I think I might be in with an even better chance of sticking a fish on the mat. So what I'm going to do is just have a little cast around, locate some obvious features on the horizon, which you know, are obvious features for anglers to fish to. Just pick 1 or 2 or 3 of those out, have a little cast around, and just see if I can find that perfect little feed-in sweet spot. So yeah, without further ado, it's already out there. Let's have a little retrieve and see what we can find. Now the key to getting a real crisp quality scan is by retrieving it as slow as possible. You might think that, you know, it's taken a long time to do, but as you can see from the quality of the scan on my screen now, there is no zigzags, and if you start to see zigzags, that indicates that you are retrieving it too fast. So if you can retrieve it as slow as possible, you will get a quality, crisp, clear image of what exactly is going on down there. So let's just give you an example. I'll retrieve the sonar in now a little bit faster, and if you compare the left hand side to, you know, me reeling in as slow as possible to the right hand side, you can clearly tell the difference, that the retrieval speed is far too fast. So in a lake bed of pretty much nothing, as I said, it is just a flat uniform bottom. I mentioned about having to find those sweet spots and you know, those slight differences of being hard or being extra hard. Now as you can see on the left, it's not as bright as on the right, And what I've done is just allowed the Deeper to just drift in the wind at a range that I found a really nice sort of indication, a real nice indication of a bright, firm, hard bottom. And this could well be the difference of picking up a bite or not. A very subtle difference. This is an orangey colour, whereas this is bright sort of yellow, and that just might be the difference of the makeup of the lake bed. So I've clipped it around my line clip on my reel. I will wrap that up now around my wrap sticks, and I will be pinpoint accuracy knowing exactly where that is out in the lake. So we've just come back round to the back of the lake, and we've noticed one or two fish mooching in and around the snags. Now what I've brought with me is a bag of 12mm boilies. Now these will allow me to bait up this in front of this snag area with very little disturbance, because the last thing I want to do is go bunging in bait, loads of disturbance, and just pushing the fish out of the area. They're already in my water, so I just want to keep them there. And these little 12mm baits are absolutely perfect just for plopping in front of the snags and just allowing them to just come out and graze naturally. Now I'm not going to spread them in a tight area. I'm just going to sort of fan them out really, right from this corner all the way across the front of this swim, because when I stick my two bags out later, I want them just coming in and just picking off little bits and pieces, and then hopefully my two traps amongst them. So let's get a few more of these out, keep the fish in the area, maybe get a little bit of interest in picking up one or two of these baits, and yeah, it's looking good going into the evening. Well, the first rod then has just been put out. Now this is the rod that was shorter out of the three, but still it's 40 yards out, and we've been stood here and witnessing fish just cruising in and out underneath the surface. Now what I don't want to do is have 40 yards of line bowstring tight out to my solid bag. I don't want to feel like I'm cutting the fish off, or the line's cutting through the water in any way, shape or form, potentially putting them on edge and stopping them from even getting to my other two rods. So what I'm going to do is just basically allow the line to just slowly sink, and I'm just going to slack line on this shorter rod, just so that I'm, like I say, not cutting them off from coming into this corner bay and basically eradicating the option of having a bite on those other two rods. So to do that, I'm essentially just peeling the line off the reel until there is no resistance on the line. That way the line is slowly sinking from the tip of my rod down to my solid bag, and that is out the way of any fish brushing into it, bouncing off it, and potentially spooking them off up the other end of the lake. So then, evening update, just had a beautiful barbecue, Our bellies are nice and full, and I'm just waiting for the carp to play ball as well. So all 3 rods have gone out absolutely bang on, first time, can't complain, to be quite honest with you. So yeah, we've probably just going to take in the last hour of daylight, keep a watch over the water, see if they give away any signs of their location, and see what the night has in store, to be quite honest with you. But yeah, really can't do any more at the moment. It's up to the fish to kind of give us a bit of an idea when they're you know, up for a feed or signs of location. Maybe move one of the rods if we start to see them show a little bit more to the left, where I've got a little bit more free water to play with. But yeah, for now, just nice to take in the rest of the evening before hitting the sack and hopefully being rudely awoken to the sound of one of those alarms. Well, a little bit of a morning update then. Really quiet night, nothing to report, but we have seen a couple of fish give themselves away a little bit slightly off where I'm actually fishing. So I've had one of the rods in, going to give it a freshen up, going to place it straight out to where we saw that fish show, because the beauty of using solid bags is that you can dot them around, you know, drop them on top of fish where they're showing, not leaving masses of bait behind. And they're a great single bite tactic. You know, in a couple of hours time, if they show elsewhere, I can just do exactly the same, have it in, freshen up with a new bag and get it straight back out there. So let's get one built, stick it out to where we see that fish show, and fingers crossed we can nick a bite before we have to disappear later today. What I've done is I've seen fish tighter and tighter to the opposite bank, so I've actually walked one down to the corner of the bay and just lowered it in over the sort of reeds and all the bankside sort of shrubbery. One, so that I'm not slinging a solid bag from sort of 50-60 yards away and it's going in and you know, causing a lot of disturbance. So I'm just trying to keep it as low key as possible. So essentially I've just lowered over my my bag like so, like I say, over the margin, into the margin, and now I'm just walking it back down the bank to try and achieve the best line lay possible, whilst yeah, not catching my lines on any reeds or dead stems, that sort of thing. So yeah, I'm nearly there now. I'm just going to finish off this last little bit, get the rod back on the bank stick, and fingers crossed, effort equals reward. So I'm not one to sit still and yeah, turn my nose up at any sort of opportunity that's presented. I've just been sat on my bed chair really, just scanning out over the water, and for the last few minutes now I've just seen a real good plume of bubbles, and it's been a steady plume as well. It's not just blown up and disappeared, it's been continual over the same spot for a good 2-3 minutes, and for me that's good enough to have one of the rods in, stick a bag over the top of it and just gently retrieve it so that it drops down into that general zone. So that's exactly what I'm going to do, have one of the rods in, get a fresh bag made, sling it out there, and yeah, see if it can buy us a bite. Just as I've been sat down there making the solid bag, I've been keeping my eyes over the water in between. It's hard to take my eyes off what's going on out there, but what I've noticed is that I'm using the sort of trees on the far bank as indicators of where the fizzing up is happening. It's moved from the sort of 2 darker green trees, and it's just moved up another tree, and I don't know if you can see over my shoulder, you may not be able to make it out, but yeah, it's moved up 2 trees, potentially about a rod and a half away from where it originally started. So what I'm thinking, as it's moving from right to left, I will yeah, try and drop my bag a little bit more to the left, thinking and hoping that it's still going to continue its journey going from right to left, and it will find this along its way. So that's my logic, that's my thinking. Whether it works or not, you know, 50-50, but from the bubbles and the patches going in that direction, this bag needs to follow suit. Well, you're never going to believe it. I'm playing a fish. We're leaving it till lastminute.com. Oh my God. My knees, my bones, everything is shaking. And this fish, I haven't seen it yet. Could be £5 and I really couldn't care. We've worked at it today, casting bags to showing fish. And hopefully if this goes in the net, it'll be the result of working our backsides off to try and put one on the map for you guys. Smack bang bottom. Actually speechless. Oh, what a way to finish a week. Yeah, just can't write it, mate, in all honesty. Just can't write it.
Can you tell a little bit about your week?
Yeah, so smashed the big fish off, smashed the Deeper fish off Carp Masters 2023, came first with over, well, just shy of 200 kilo of fish. Also smashed my PB, so also got the biggest fish award with a 20 plus kilo fish, which is, you know, just over £45 in yeah, UK weights. And then yeah, just bagged this 32 pounder as well. So yeah, literally I'm just on cloud 9, as you can imagine. So it's warm, we've done what we need to do, we're just going to get it back, let it recover in the edge, and swim off to make somebody else's day and make somebody else just as happy as I am. I am blown away. Just make sure you get out there as well, try new venues, new spots, new areas, and you never know, one or two surprises may just come up along the way. So it's time to say goodbye. One last look. One last look. Thank you for making my day, making my week.